right, we're here with Projection at PAX East with Shadowplay Studios and published by Blowfish Studios, I need to mention, with cooperation with Sweaty Chair. No, I'm just...
Yeah.
But anyway,
exactly it.
I'm here with Michael from Shadowplay Studios. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. My voice is getting tired.
Voice is
it's
getting
only
tired?
the first day still.
Perfect. Well, let's get to talking then, if your voice is tired. So, yeah, what is Projection?
Projection is a shadow puppet adventure about curiosity, lost art, and all those kind of things. You're controlling the character Greta here, and she's run away from home. And in this area, you've come into a broken down shadow theater. And from here, she discovers this light source, which you can use to manipulate the shadows around her. And since the whole world is made out of shadows, she can control the objects around her. So she basically controls the world with this light.
What a
so
cool
you can use
idea.
It for platforming and things like that. So to climb up there, you can use the light to cast around.
Well, that's cool. So you can walk on the shadows. So you have this light that you move around with the right analog stick, and yeah, so you can make shadows and then walk on them.
Yeah,
very fun.
It's more than just walking on it though. So we'll introduce other mechanics. You'll see boxes, you'll see secondary light sources. These aren't just platforms for walking on. You can push things with them. You can lift things. You can crush things, all using shadows, because it just treats shadows as a physical object, as it were. And then you're going to be using them to traverse the world and solve puzzles.
Ah, very cool. So where did the inspiration for this idea come from?
So where I live, we've got a very low ceiling, and I always like playing with the shadows that come from the light source. And so after, I used to be making a game a week or so, and after making them for a year, this was one of those games that I had made. And so we decided that we would roll with this one, because this is the one that got everyone excited when they saw it happening. But yeah, the original inspiration was just messing around with lights and wondering what happens if you were to add physics to them.
Yeah, I love that idea.
And then after that, everything else comes logically. So we use shadow puppets because it makes sense if you're using shadow mechanics.
Yeah.
And then from there, we decided to visit a shadow puppeteer who said we should look at Indonesian culture, look at Chinese culture, Turkish, 19th century European, because this is where shadow puppets went in around the world. So you're only in the shadow theater now, but you'll be coming up to the Indonesian section after this as well. So this is an example of where you can use the lights for just more than creating ramps. You can see how it's making a bubble. If you put the light source on the other side, and then you stand on top of it, you can push yourself up. So if you bring the light all the way down there, and then move it up slowly, so you can do something like that, and then lift yourself up.
Okay.
But yeah, so we decided that we'd be looking at not just shadow puppets, but the journey that shadow puppets took around the world, starting from Indonesia, and then tell stories from each of the cultures that we visit.
Oh, what a cool idea. I love it. Yeah, it's very interesting gameplay. I mean, you have a lot. Yeah, I've never messed it's fun because you know what a shadow. Everyone knows how shadows work and how using lights, but no one ever thinks, oh, why don't I jump on that shadow?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's both familiar and kind of weird at the same time.
So I guess we come from a design philosophy where we try and get as much complexity out of something very simple. So everyone understands how lights work. They just move in a straight line. And so if everyone understands how light and shadows work, when you add one element of physics to it, suddenly there's a whole set of ideas that you can run with. People wonder what you can do with shadows, limited by what shadows are capable of doing, but also all the affordances that come with it. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Things that don't cast shadows as well, and how to move around that.
Pretty soon, shadow walking is just going to be the standard for
yeah. So
for
we
games.
want that. Well, I don't know about the standard for games. We want this at least to be like second nature for you. To be able to just use the light as an extension of yourself.
As I'm playing this right now, I mean, I can already kind of feel like the best kind of way to use stuff, and
so it's like some things which were puzzles before should just be like really easy for you later on, and it's just like you can't imagine getting around any other way.
Right. Oh, what is that?
Like, so for here you've got pots, and so you can use shadows to try and knock them off the cliff, for instance, to help you out.
All right, so how do I do that?
Like oh, I'll let you discover it.
Okay. You don't want to help me because I was doing something.
All right. Well, if you move it.
Oh,
there you go.
Boom. Got it.
So now you can pick it up using X. So we allow you to interact with things like that.
Oh, that's fun.
And so now you can place the pot somewhere else and then use that to cast shadows and things like that as well.
Yeah, very neat. And then so I can't go back for that now. It's behind the net. But yeah, so do you have a lot of different objects and stuff? I mean, does that become more core of it?
More interesting mechanics to do with messing with the light. And so the only two that we're introducing here is other objects that can cast shadows and nets which can't cast shadows. So you're going to have to try and figure out a way to get up there.
Yeah.
Probably from the one that casts shadows up there. Since we try and have all the puzzles use some sort of element of the light. So yeah, like this.
There's a butterfly.
Yes, so butterflies are a collectible in this game.
Oh, okay.
So if you're able to figure out a way of using shadows to get up there, we try and make all the puzzles have some element of shadows so that it's not just a gimmick, it's the core element of the game throughout the whole thing. So you don't want to just introduce something once and then never use it again. So you'll be seeing, like you see pots here, but you'll be seeing them later on where they're an integral part of...
Is there anything up there?
There is.
Hey, you can't tell me. It's spoiling. No, I'm just kidding.
There's something.
But
who knows if you'll be able to get up there.
Okay, gotcha. I'll just come back later. Oh, but I got my butterfly, which is following me now.
So that butterfly is going to follow you until the end of the level.
So how long have you... Oh, I died.
So if you're made out of paper, you don't want to go into water. How long? We've been working on it for 3 years. We spent the first year making it in Game Maker.
Really?
And then we spent a year making it in Unity. So we remade it again.
Gotcha. Okay. Why'd you switch?
I see what you did there. So we originally it was just me and my artist Yosha working on it in Game Maker, and we didn't find a lot of other support from other game devs in Sydney. We're from Sydney, Australia, who are also using Game Maker. And when we approached Blowfish as well, they work using Unity. And so we decided to make the move because everyone was using Unity at the time.
Oh, no.
And so once we decided we'd move to Unity, we got Sweaty Chair on board, so then they helped out with programming.
Very cool.
And it meant that we're able to do a lot more with a lot more with dynamic shadows and physics and things like that, which is probably capable in Game Maker, but just me by myself working on it, I'm not as great at doing everything by myself.
Yeah, I'm seeing now the game gets mighty challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
We want the core getting from A to B to be not so hard, but then some of the butterflies, in order to get them, you have to be able to stop, look, and think, and you should be able to figure out just by placing the light in the right area.
Yeah, I love that. I love how it's a simple concept, but then there's so many different variables that you can use on the environment. So
yeah, well, we want to make sure that we're using this in a way that's still also player friendly. So we don't want you running, jumping, moving the light at the same time. You can, but you should be able to get through the whole game just by stopping and looking at where's the optimal place to put the light source.
Right.
And so you've got the Indonesian story unfolding here.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool, Art. So, when is this planning on coming out?
We're planning on releasing it this time, so around March next year.
Okay. So we got a lot.
March, April. We were pushing to get it out in Q2 this year, but we find that we're still fixing a lot of bugs as we speak, so we decided to push it for next year.
Okay. Yeah, very much better to have a finished product.
Yeah.
Good job.
We do what we can.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So
awesome. Well, I
certainly
can't wait. It looks awesome. I love unique takes on platforming, and this is definitely a unique take. Looks really cool. I love the gameplay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll do what we can to please everyone in making sure that we come with a unique concept.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Michael.
No problem. That's great.
All right. So see you later.
Okay.